Good morning, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and sportsmen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, those who are watching from the field of science, religion, spirituality, arts, commerce and engineering, advertisers, administrators, advocates, advisors, the most honorable present Prime Minister Dr. Narendra Modi ji, presence of respected ministers and doctors, reverend fathers and mothers, affectionate sons and daughters, all of you, those who are listening, I welcome, appreciate, admire, praise your presence with 100% present sense of mind. Dr. Rakesh from USA, you are listening the truth of science and spirituality. It's really God's grace, God's blessings that we have got this day. Every day is new day. Every time, minute, second, moment, everything whatsoever we are spending in our life, that is the great blessing and grace of Lord. And it is not a surprising thing, because God himself is unsurprised, unread, unspoken, unwritten, unlearned. And he also resides where there is lessness. He also resides where there is un, im and in. So these things also suggest that God's presence is everywhere. We feel the presence of Lord in the human body, being a human being. Being a human being, man, which is the composition of 5 elements, air, fire, soil, sky and water. And man feels the presence of Lord, thinks the presence of Lord, and knows the presence of Lord in these 5 elements. Where there is no availability of these 5 elements, even God does exist there. Only by the blessing and grace of Lord we can understand this thing and we can know this thing. He himself is the controller of our mind, body, thoughts, ideas, words, whatsoever we are doing. The Lord, Supreme God, who he was, who he will and who he is, in past, present and future, he is the same, and he never changes. He is unchangeable in past, present and future. Everything worldly, whatsoever we have around us, that is temporary, immortal, perishable. Something immortal is there, that is the words of Lord. But God says that he does exist in wordless power also. Soundless and lightless place, time and action is also covered by, circulated by that God's power, Lord's greatest grace. So man's mind is nothing before the worldly creations of the God. Adversity builds and or reveals character. Under adverse circumstances, some people break records and others break down. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor can you get the finest steel without putting it through fire. Similarly, adversity reveals a person's character and introduces it to himself. There is saying that came from Russia. A hammer shatters glass, but forges steel. There is a lot of truth in it. Are we made of glass or steel? It is the same hammer. Just like carbon determines the quality of steel, character determines the quality of man. Positive believing. What is the difference between positive thinking and positive believing? What if you could actually listen to your thoughts? Are they positive or negative? How are you programming your mind for success or failure? How you think has a profound effect on your performance. Having a positive attitude and being motivated is a choice we make every morning. Living a positive life is not easy, but then neither is negative living. Given a choice, I would go for positive living. Positive thinking is better than negative thinking, and it will help us use our abilities to the fullest. Positive believing is a lot more than positive thinking. It is having a reason to believe that positive thinking will work. Positive believing is an attitude of confidence that comes with preparation. Having a positive attitude without making the effort is nothing more than having a wishful dream. The following illustrates positive believing. Does Lockheed organization have a reason to believe positively? You bet. Several years ago, Lockheed introduced the L-1011 Twister plan. In order to ensure safety and test the strength of the jetliner, Lockheed exposed the plan to the roughest treatment for 18 months, costing $1.5 billion. Hydraulic jacks, electronic sensors, and a computer put the aeroplane through its paces for more than 36,000 simulated flights, amounting to 100 years of airline service without one single malfunction. Finally, after hundreds of tests, the aircraft was given the seal of approval. There is every reason to believe that this plane would be safe to fly because of all the effort put into preparation. Give more than you get. It is easy to succeed today we have no competition. If you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. There is no competition on the extra mile. Are you willing to do a little more than you get paid for? How many people you know are willing to do a little bit more than that they get paid for? Hardly any. Most people don't want to do what they get paid for, and there is a second category of people who only want to do what they can get by with. They fulfill their quota just to keep their jobs. There is a small fraction who are willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for. Why do they do more? If you fall into the last category, then where is your competition? The advantages of doing more than you get paid for are: you make yourself more valuable regardless of what you do and where you work. It gives you more confidence. People start looking at you as a leader. Others start trusting you. Superiors start respecting you. It breeds loyalty from both your subordinates and your superiors. It generates cooperation. If you work for a man, for heaven's sake, work for him. These people are always wanted everywhere, regardless of age, experience, or academic qualifications. Hardworking people who can work without supervision. People who are punctual and considerate. People who listen carefully and carry out instructions accurately. People who tell the truth. People who don't suck when called upon to pitch in at the time of an emergency. People who are result rather than task oriented. People who are cheerful and courteous. Always think in terms of giving value added, whether to customers, friends, your spouse, parents, or children. Whenever you do anything, ask yourself, how can I add value to what I am doing? Or how can I give added value to others? The key to success can be summed up in 4 words and then some more. Winners do what they are supposed to, and then some more. Winners do their duty, and then some more. Winners are courteous and generous, and then some more. Winners can be counted on, and then some more. Winners put in 100% and then some more. Ability without dependability. Responsibility and flexibility is a liability. Why are some highly intelligent people with impressive academic qualifications living failures or at best practicing mediocrity? Because they become experts at why things won't work and build a reserve of negative energy. They don't want to do what they get paid for, or they only want to do what they can get by with. No wonder they are living failures. When we give or do more than what we get paid for, we eliminate our competition. In fact, we become the competition. This attitude is much more important than intelligence or a degree. The power of persistence